What's up guys, it's Legend X Rona, and today I have another top 5 Injustice video for you guys. In today's top 5, I will be discussing the top 5 characters who I want to see make a return in Injustice 2 that were in the first game. With Injustice 2 bringing in new characters, there's going to be some characters who will return for this game due to them playing certain roles in the story. Now of course not every character can make a return in Injustice 2, but some characters definitely deserve that chance to make a return. But for this list, I won't be naming any characters who will almost certainly be added into the game, so keep that in mind and don't forget that this is just my own opinion. With that being said, here are the top 5 characters that I hope will make a return for the roster in Injustice 2. Starting with number 5 on the list, Raven. Now I feel that Raven should be a character who returns in Injustice 2 for a few reasons. Personally, I enjoyed her in the last game and really liked her gameplay. I think if they were to work at it, they could add a bit more elements to her gameplay that would expand it and make it even more awesome in the next game. Another reason why I think that she should return is because Trigon has a small chance of being the main villain in the next game. Now I don't think 100% that he will be the main villain, but it is something that is being discussed about in a video that I will be doing in the future, so I will talk more about it. But if it does happen to be him be the main villain for Injustice 2, then it wouldn't make sense for them not to have Raven as a returning character in the game. However, if he isn't the main villain, then I don't see too much of a reason to have Raven return, which is why she's so high up on this list. Regardless though, I like Raven and I like her gameplay and would like to see her make a return onto the roster as another playable character in Injustice 2. Moving on to number 4 on the list, Deathstroke. Now I'm definitely a bit biased when it comes to Deathstroke because he was one of my mains in the last game and he's one of my all-time favorite DC villains. I think Deathstroke should make a return for a couple of reasons. First, I really liked his gameplay in the first Injustice game. Like I said a second ago, he was one of my mains in the game, so I would definitely like to have him return so I can continue to play as him in Injustice 2. I also think that he has a bit of a chance of returning due to him being in the upcoming Batman solo movie starring Ben Affleck as Batman. He more than likely will be the main villain in that movie, and like I said before, I think NetherRealm Studios will definitely take some kind of advantage of the entertainment business when it comes to adding certain characters into the game. Now I'm sure that some of you are probably already thinking, why would you have Deathstroke when you have Deadshot already in the game? For starters, let me state that the only thing that these two have in common is that they both have guns. Deathstroke focuses more on different guns in general, including machine guns and pistols, and he even uses a sword to fight as well as hand-to-hand combat, while Deadshot typically uses long-range guns such as snipers to shoot from afar. So personally, I think we could have both of them on the roster. I mean, we have both Superman and Supergirl who actually have the same exact powers, except it's used differently in the game, so there should be no problem with us having both Deathstroke and Deadshot in my opinion. I don't think that there's a significant reason to why Deathstroke shouldn't be on the roster, so I do hope that he's a character that we get to see return in Injustice 2. Sitting at number 3, Martian Manhunter. Having only been DLC in the last game, I think that Martian Manhunter should return in Injustice 2 on the main roster. After having a cameo in the first Injustice in the background of the Watchtower stage, a lot of people wanted to see him put into the game, which he eventually was as DLC. Personally, I think he should have been a character who was on the main roster from the beginning and should have played some kind of role in the story. I grew up with the Justice League cartoon show, so I'm used to seeing the Martian Manhunter playing a bigger role since he was a main member of the Justice League. It's currently presumed that he died in the Injustice comics, though I personally think he could have survived that considering we didn't see his body fully disintegrate, so he could still be alive. Plus, he's still alive in the main universe, so I don't think that his possible death should play a role in him returning in Injustice 2. Nonetheless, I think he's a character that should return and play some kind of role in the main story. Having a solid fan base that got him into the last game as DLC, I think that NetherRealm Studios might make the decision to possibly make him onto the main roster for Injustice 2 this time around. Moving on to number 2 on the list, Green Arrow. Having been my favorite character to play as in the first Injustice, I really want to see Green Arrow make a return in Injustice 2. He had really enjoyable gameplay that I liked, especially with the different eras that he could switch between. I think there's a lot more that they could add to his gameplay in the next game, so I would definitely like to see them do that. I can also see him having some cool gear with the gear system and even having a gear change that will possibly give us Arsenal as a character as well. If he was put into the game, it would be really cool to see how he would interact with Black Canary if they were both put onto the roster. Also, Green Arrow still has relevance in the entertainment business, with Arrow still being a very popular show. So not only do I want to see him return in Injustice 2, but I really think that he has a really good chance. He's still alive in the main universe, and a lot of people want him to make a return as well, so I think that Ed might make the decision to make it happen. And finally, at number 1 on the list, CYBORG. CYBORG is at the top of this list because he's a favorite of mine in the DC universe. He was another character that I enjoyed playing with in the last game, and he has the most valid reasons to be in the next game compared to the other characters on this list. I personally liked his role in the first Injustice and enjoy how they adapted his personality and his moveset in the game compared to how I know him from my childhood. Now, as most of you already know, CYBORG is gonna be in the new Justice League movie, so like I said earlier, I think that NetherRealm Studios will base some of the character choices for the game off of the entertainment business. That movie is expected to be a pretty hype movie like the Avengers movies, so that would give all the characters who are in it a lot of relevance. Each of the main characters in that movie are already pretty much in the game, so I can't see why they wouldn't add CYBORG as well. Being a big part of the Justice League now, I think it's almost significant to have him in Injustice 2. With all that being said, he's definitely a character I want to see make a return on the Injustice 2 roster, and I really would like to see what kind of role he'll have this time around in the new story. So these are the 5 characters I really want to see make a return in Injustice 2. Now, there were a few other characters who slightly missed my list, like Nightwing and Zatanna, but these are the ones that I really want to see the most. Like I said before, I didn't point out the obvious characters like Green Lantern or Joker due to them more than likely already being set to be added into the game. So what do you guys think about my characters I chose to return in Injustice 2? Are any of these characters that you want to see make a return? And if not, who are the top 5 characters that you want to see return? Be sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I am still doing a full roster prediction video soon, which won't be based off characters who I want, but characters who I think will be in the game. So if you want to see that, let me know that in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop it a like. I really appreciate the support. And if you're new to my channel, check out my other videos and subscribe for more Injustice videos. This is Legend X Ronin, and I'll see you guys later.